Super excited to have another amazing purpose story and journey to share with you today. Just want to give a big round welcome to Austin. Thank you for joining us today, Austin.
Thanks for having me, Rose.
All right. And we can see in the background, you're in a beautiful place. So tell us where you're from, where you are now. We would love to hear.
I currently live in the Virgin Islands in St. Thomas. Most of my life was spent in Denver. I've done a few stints across in Europe. But yeah, right now living in the Virgin Islands in St. Thomas and loving every moment of it.
Beautiful. Living the American dream. All right, so we're going to dive right in. And just like the rest of the stories, I'm going to hear Austin's purpose, journey, and story alongside with you. So I'm going to ask you, Austin, to just go back to the first aha moments that you had, and then the steps that have kind of unraveled in your purpose to where you are today. So.
Yeah, I guess younger me, purpose was primarily focused on financial freedom, being able to not work and do whatever I wanted, party, travel, whatever that may be. When I was 27 was when I essentially kind of retired. And since then, I've never really had hours I needed to be someone. I've just worked for myself. Um, and, it's probably a couple years ago that I started. It definitely started with traveling when I started realizing people don't quite know everything that you think is just understood. And obviously, being an American changes things. We have most of us know what stocks are, know what investing is, know what bank accounts are. When you travel and realize that that's a luxury and not very many other countries or people in countries know what that is, it started making me think that why is it so vastly different in these worlds? And so I guess my purpose nowadays is to give back. I have a shitload of knowledge. I've spent my whole life studying. I have degrees. I have been all over the place. I've built businesses from scratch in many different industries. Industry doesn't matter. I can do it anywhere. So now I'm doing a lot of teaching and coaching. I have a show that you've been on, Rose, and it's a show of just taking knowledge from experts and sharing it for free to the entire world. I do one-on-one coaching for free, and then I volunteer a lot on this island. I specifically chose this island. I wanted it to be an American territory for other reasons outside of business and whatnot. But I chose this over like Puerto Rico because it's smaller, so I felt I could have a bigger impact. And there's a lot of work to do on this island. There's a lot of issues. So hopefully we can fix some things and clean some things up and level the playing field for those that want to grow to be able to grow.
Awesome. So what would you say were the biggest steps to getting you where you are today?
Realizing that the people you spend a lot of your time with really aren't that great. Coming up with core values and boundaries and then analyzing that against who you spend most of your time with.
Awesome. And that's my next question. What are some of your core values that have driven you to find your purpose and keep on going?
Yeah, so personally, I'm a big fan of adventure, and that travels into business as well. A lot of my business ventures are fun and exciting. But I definitely, growth is huge. If you are not someone that wants to grow and is, I guess, passionate about growing, it's hard for me to relate to you anymore. Um, and unfortunately, that takes out a lot of the younger generation because they're not at that point in their lives. And maybe it's just a maturity thing. Maybe it's just a once you've seen 10 years of people thing. I don't know. But it's hard for people that are like just happy doing nothing to like relate to them. I'm like, I spent so much time and energy and brain power just like growing myself, right? I mean, every week I have 6 new guests that come on and teach me cool things and new things and daily challenges, and my Facebook group that's growing crazy, and all my podcasts and one-on-one with people, they teach me a little too, but being able to help others grow and teach. And I mean, I've done so much, especially business wise, that I can share with people. And it's really fun to watch them. Even last night we had an event, and one of the directors, he just goes, dude, I learned like 6 different ways to do something. Oh my gosh. And it's just like, I love that. Like, he wants to grow. He's awesome. He's amazing. And, he's kind of tooting my horn last night. And I'm like, no, John, you're amazing too, man. Like, look at you. And we talked about it a little last night, how some people on this island just don't want to grow. They want to complain and moan and bitch about how the government is. But if I were to like offer a free marketing course, I bet there would be like 3 people that would show up.
Yeah.
And
It's they're living in the culture scape. And so when you're in that culture scape, it's hard to see a different perspective, or your perception is just what you've been taught for generations. So it sounds like you're in a great place for impact, and you just need to find unique ways, which you're already doing, just by having your podcast, to shake the generations up. Because from my experience is that you have to have a life altering experience to get really jolted. And the other way that we learn, it's like a Japanese terms, is you can either learn all in one time in a big impact, or very slowly. So most of us learn slowly. And some of us go through these life and death experiences, or these big impactful times in our life that really shake us and say, okay, why is this happening? Or start asking ourselves questions. But like you were saying, most of the younger generation are just happy being ignorant, and they don't have that taste, or that want to learn and grow more. So what are some of the fun ways that you are planning to shake things up in the islands there?
yeah, so I'm kind of just going a little slow. So right now I'm working a lot with the nonprofit. It's a group home on the island. The directors are super awesome, very, very child focused, child driven. It's actually the only group home, so they have to get another one because there's too many children that just don't have anywhere to go. So that's kind of most of my energy is going into outside of my normal day to day. But really, it's nice being able to pick the people I align with. There have been a lot of people that have approached me like, "Hey, come do this. I want you to work salary, do marketing," and I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." And so that's kind of cool. But I think that the impact is getting there. I can't wait for this event, November 2nd, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Everyone buy your flights now. I think it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be a taco competition and margarita competition, but in the end, it's all gonna benefit the kids. So it's gonna be really fun to something like that, just to see what kind of impact. But I mean, it's changing lives, and I would love to have people come in and teach them, have like a banker teach them how to save or how to invest and all these little things. And I can do it, but it almost gets to the point where it's just me doing everything. And it's gonna be much more fun and impactful if they have different people, different experts coming in, which essentially is kind of what I do with the show. I'd love to have I would love to have everyone watch the show every day. That would be awesome. And do the challenges. There's really like no negative to it. It's just like you learn from 3 experts, little tips, do a challenge to reinforce those tips, and then by default you're growing. And so hopefully, I'm gonna start doing some retreats for Millionaires Are Made down here, which will be fun. Like a mental health or physical health or a spiritual health, where you can come down and be focused for like 3 or 4 days. And so that'll be really cool. And then I guess the main goal is just like to help the locals out. The government's My original idea was to start doing like free marketing, free sales 101, and have the government like sponsor it. But the government here is so corrupt slash they only talk to their nieces and nephews and stuff. So I don't know if that's the game plan anymore. I'm probably gonna have to go through private enterprise, and so we'll see how that goes. But there's a couple other people down here that do speaking, and marketing and stuff like that. So we plan on doing something together at some point soon. Just a matter of kind of seeing when it fits and what we can do. But
Awesome.
I'd love to do some like networking events. I want to start doing. I used to do like $100 tip nights. We'd get like 50 people out to a local restaurant, and we all tip $100 on it, and help out that whole serving staff. I don't know if that's possible here, but we could do something maybe like a $20 or $30 tip night, something like that. But it's hard to. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people come to this island to just chill, relax, and retire, which is
Mm.
half the fun.
Yeah, but when you slow down and retire, if you're not keeping active, you just deteriorate. So, all that wisdom is just getting, you know,
Yeah.
into mush, unfortunately. So,
Yeah. When you're older is when you have the most wisdom and should be sharing it the most.
yeah.
Like spending 50 years as an engineer and then you just live on a boat and don't talk to anyone. It's like, man, you killing it for everyone.
Exactly. We gotta extract what we can from those that are wise and have many, years and experience and wisdom, pearls of wisdom to pass on. So, well, I want to just celebrate what you've created so far, Austin. It's really amazing. The show that you have, Millionaires Are Made, is just an amazing way to um, bring on experts and share the knowledge that not just you, but all of these experts, no matter where they're coming from, everyone has something to teach. And I love that motto that you have is, you can learn something from everyone. So it's a really beautiful show, and I love the impact that you're having. And yeah, just want to celebrate what you've done so far. And I'm really excited to see, you celebrating and creating an impact in the Virgin Islands. And yeah, thank you so much for being here and sharing your purpose and your story and your vision with us. It's been an honor. And yeah, any last things that you would like to share to inspire the generations that are ahead of you in the Virgin Islands and everywhere?
Always be learning. There's constant and never ending improvement every day, 1%, day by day, brick by brick. Never stop. It can always be smarter and better. And that's
Awesome.
kind of the beauty of life.
Yeah. So Austin, if people want to connect with you, what's the best way that they can connect with you?
Probably my Facebook, Austin Arm Brands.
Oh,
My page and my profile will be the easiest way.
perfect. Okay. Well, if you have some knowledge to share, connect with Austin and share it on his podcast. And thank you so much, Austin. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, Rose. It was great talking to you.